Hey guys, Sam from WatchGang here to give a very quick tutorial on the brand new watch from Villandry, their Moonphase. Looking at the watch right away, we can see that it's a very straightforward, just three-hand watch with a few special subdials here. The leftmost subdial being the day of the week, the rightmost subdial being the date, and this bottom subdial here is the moon phase, and aptly named as it tracks the phases of the moon. So just wanted to give a very quick demonstration on how to set this so that you can get it all set perfectly between date, day, and moon phase so that you can set at one time, and being a quartz watch, it'll last for you about as long as the battery will, which should be about 3 years. So pretty straightforward, but a little trick to get this all set. As we can see, pulling out the crown, there's just one position outside of the default position, and that is just to control the hands of the watch. So each of these subdials here actually are controlled by hidden pushers, which you can modify with your little tool that comes along with every single watch. So we have the rightmost subdial here is the date, and I can just use the pusher hidden in the bottom right here. And every time I push that, it moves the date one. And then similarly, there is a hidden pusher on the left side to modify the day of the week. Can't push it hard enough, gotta get back in the gym. So, to set this watch officially and get everything all working together, the hardest part to set is the moon phase feature, and that is because it is really just only set by the crown position, in crown position 2 pulled out here, to where you also set the time. So, the trick to the whole thing here is to set the moon phase first, and you want to set it to the full moon, which is the moon being in the dead center of the moon phase complication there, and set that as if you are setting the time as it's a full moon right now. So for the sake of argument here, let's say that the last full moon was Monday the 15th. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to manually wind the hands through the 24-hour cycle, and I'm not going to worry about the day of the week or the date. Right now, I just want to focus on getting the moon in the full moon position, which is the very dead center of the complication. We're now to the full moon section. I'm going to get this down to about 6 a.m. so I can modify the date. And what did I say? Monday the 12th or something? Either way, doesn't matter. The point is, we now have it set to the full moon pattern. And if the last full moon was, let's modify this a bit. Let's say the last full moon was actually the 23rd. So I have the date now set to the 23rd. And that 23rd of the full moon was a Sunday. I now have it set to Sunday. The 23rd at that moment was the last full moon. And now you're all set. Now the only last thing to do is just get it set to the current time. And the only way to do that, as I previously explained, is to just keep moving this ahead. And then you'll just be moving this now, keeping track of the date and day of the week, and just move it ahead to the appropriate time. And then you'll notice the moon phase will follow the whole rest of the time. If you're lucky enough to be setting this watch briefly after there was just a full moon, you should only have to go a few 24-hour cycles ahead of time. But unfortunately, if the full moon was, 20 days ago, you may be winding forward about 20 days to get caught up to present day. It's not recommended to wind backwards with really any watch, especially automatics. This being a quartz, it's not a huge deal, but you still should always try to just wind the watch forward. But let's say that today now is actually a Wednesday, the 26th. I've just passed the midnight. And say it's 6 a.m. or 7:30, we'll say, 7:25. And boom, I'm now all set. Push this in, and that is good to go until, the end of the month when you may need to change the date from a 30 to a 31 or something. But otherwise, you are all in sync with the phase of the moon.